It all started on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. The school hallways echoed with chatter, locker slams, and the sharp squeak of sneakers against tile. But inside the dim, cluttered nurse's office, you could hear only the soft hum of a small fan and the rustle of paperwork. Nurse Elena sat hunched at her desk, wrapping up records for students who had come in with everything from twisted ankles to stress-induced migraines. No one ever really noticed her, but Elena noticed everyone. At 37, Nurse Elena was calm, reserved, and warm-hearted, a quiet presence in a chaotic school. She had once been an ER trauma nurse trained in high-pressure situations, but after a personal tragedy, the loss of her husband in a hit-and-run, she moved to the quieter halls of high school medicine, searching for peace and maybe healing. Among the students, she was known as Miss Fix It. Whether it was a scraped knee or a panic attack, she was always there, never judging, always listening, but not everyone respected her. That day, 3 senior boys barged into the nurse's office laughing loud and clearly not hurt. Jason, the ringleader, had a bruised ego more than a bruised arm. He'd just been benched from the football team for bad grades. Alongside him were Mike and Connor, the kind of boys who fed off Jason's rage like it was oxygen. They threw open the cabinet doors, grabbed ice packs, tossed gauze at each other like it was confetti. "Excuse me," Elena said firmly, standing up. "This isn't a playground. Either sit down quietly or leave." The Jason scoffed and looked her up and down. "You're just a school nurse. Don't tell me what to do. I'm also a licensed trauma nurse, and this is still my office." He didn't like that. He shoved a stool, sending it crashing to the ground. Elena stepped forward to pick it up, and that's when it happened. Jason shoved her. Hard. She fell backward against the filing cabinet, hitting the floor with a thud. There was a moment of stunned silence. Even Mike looked shocked. Elena didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just lay there, staring at the ceiling as a flood of memories hit her. The car accident, the hospital walls, the pain she buried every day to help others. Something cracked inside her, and it wasn't just the fall. Jason laughed nervously. "Relax, old lady. We were just playing." She sat up slowly, eyes cold now. Her hand reached for the broken wooden leg of the chair nearby. She stood, not limping, not weak. She stood tall, taller than she had ever seemed. "You think strength is being loud, hurting people? Let me show you what real strength looks like," she said. Jason smirked. "What are you going to do with that? You going to hit me?" "No," she said, voice steady. "But I will defend myself if you try again." But Jason stepped forward, puffing his chest. But this time it wasn't Elena who moved. It was Principal Davis, who had heard the commotion and rushed in with 2 other teachers. They saw Elena standing, holding the broken leg of the chair. Jason mid-stepped toward her. It didn't take long to understand what had happened. Everything changed after that. The school launched an immediate investigation. Security footage was pulled. Multiple students came forward with stories of Jason's long-standing bullying. Elena was cleared, praised for her composure, and offered counseling support. Jason and his 2 friends expelled. Elena didn't press charges, though the school district wanted to. She only said, "I don't need revenge. I just need kids like him to know fear isn't power." The news spread fast. Parents, students, even strangers began writing letters to Elena. Some apologized for not noticing her. Others thanked her for standing up, not just for herself, but for every quiet person who'd ever been pushed down. Weeks later, the nurse's office had new locks, a new coat of paint, and a tiny sign on the wall that said, "Strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it just stands back up." And Elena, she kept going, kept healing. But now when students looked at her, they didn't just see a nurse. They saw a survivor, a protector, a quiet warrior who reminded them that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's rising, even when no one expects you to.